Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Chris and you are watching Shugghead Gaming. My apologies on the late review for Just in Time Incorporated. Work was crazy this week and I barely got the Code 51 Mecha Arena and Cool Painter VR reviews out as it was. If you haven't checked those out, make sure you do. But to make it up to you fine viewers, I'm going to give away 2 free copies of Just in Time Incorporated, so make sure to stay until the end for details. Just in Time Incorporated released this past April 24th and was developed by first-time VR developer Second Wind Interactive. So without further delay, let's get into this. Just in Time Incorporated is an insurance agency, and you're an insurance agent, whose task it is to save clients from imminent death or severe injury. Armed with only your hyper gloves, you can move at 10 times the speed of the real world in order to help clients avert disaster. From your perspective, you slow down time, and in doing so can redirect bullets, remove obstacles, and pretty much anything else you can think of to save the day. As always guys, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, and if you want more PSVR content from me, please consider subscribing. As usual, graphics are up first. Just in Time Incorporated looks like it borrowed the graphic and model textures right off another recent PSVR game, Out of Ammo. That means it looks like Minecraft meets Job Simulator, and while I'm definitely not a fan of this graphic choice, and especially when shit on the screen is a jaggy mess like Out of Ammo, but here in Just in Time Incorporated, it kinda has a charm, and it never really bothered me. Did I wish it had more realistic and detailed graphics? Yes, I did. But while the graphic choice doesn't do much to add to this game, it rarely detracts from the game itself either. As with Job Simulator and the more recent Rick and Morty, textures are very simple and colorful. Fire and explosion effects look like they were ripped straight out of the Minecraft playbook, but lasers and other lighting effects such as flashlights and flares do fare better. Draw distance is at a minimum, but is rarely required to be better. While characters are Minecraft simple in their appearance, they do animate more than you think they will, and the ragdoll physics as you stab and blow them up is incredibly entertaining to watch in slow motion. Overall, the graphic presentation is not quite as polished as Job Simulator or Rick and Morty, as it isn't quite as sharp, as anti-aliasing isn't done as well, and therefore more jagged edges are visible. And that's with a pro enhancement baked in. That being said, it's still good at executing the look it's going for, so whether you like it is up to you. Sound is up next.
You have also caused a lot of collateral damage, but the costs so far have been acceptable. Please follow me now.
First things first, the music. In my opinion, often the music in VR games with their smaller production budgets and teams is often bland, forgettable, or simply absent. Surprisingly, Just in Time does not disappoint in the music department. Many times I found myself smiling or dancing at the comical irreverence the music had for the satirical gameplay, with the music sounding like it was channeling a Disney family movie like Beethoven one moment, then an 80s inspired synth rhythm the next. You wouldn't want the soundtrack, but the music works for the game, and it's welcomed. Voice acting is done fine, with the commentator being instructional and witty without trying too hard to be funny and coming off just flat. Sound effects are average, but get the job done. They won't make your ears bleed, but they do come off as a bit generic, and I'm sure the dun 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 you hear when you fail is also used in Polish Paul's video opening. 3D audio is used to some effect here, and you will need it to identify if a bullet has been popped off behind you or a missile is zeroing in on you and a client. All in all, Just in Time has an adequate sound design, better than many but not super stellar either. And that brings us to gameplay. The most common comparisons made to Just in Time is that of Job Simulator meets Superhot, and those comparisons are spot on. Just in Time has much of the aesthetic humor and world interaction of Job Simulator, but it's the Superhot qualities that elevate this game into something special. You can't control the movement of time like you can in Superhot. However, since time always moves slower for you, the player, every level becomes a trial and error puzzle of sorts. Every level will present you with a different situation that will require you to figure out how to prevent the accident from happening. You will have to figure out what items you can use, when to use them, and when your client needs some well-timed assistance. This could be grabbing bullets mid-air with your hyper gloves and redirecting them back, stealing grenades from soldiers, planting traps, or dozens and dozens of other possible tasks. Like Superhot, there's more than one way to beat a challenge, and it's the trial and error and just plain screwing around that is so much fun. Also like Superhot in the recently released Rick and Morty, while tracking is spot on, it can be a nuisance due to the high movement requirements and the single camera tracking of the PSVR. If you have the camera set up properly so you can reach close to the ground and above your head, you should be fine. But remember to use the turning buttons for big turns instead of your body, or you will find yourself dead with your hands frozen in place and your back to the camera. Movement is done with teleportation and click turning, and while I absolutely hate both of these, the nature of the game had me not really concerned with the teleportation, but still screaming at the click turning no matter what rotation they tried to sell me on. 2 move controllers are required, and a moderate amount of space is required since you will be moving around, reaching down, and throwing your arms. You will definitely want to stand for this, but motion sickness should be very minimal. And that brings us to fun factor and my final verdict. While my review above was very factual, let me be clear, I had so much fun playing this game. If Rick and Morty was Job Simulator for adults, then Just in Time Incorporated is for gamers who, like me, found Job Simulator a bit too tech demo-y and wanted an actual game to play. I found myself blowing through this game mission after mission, no matter how many attempts it took, without care for the time. However, time is what some people will have a problem with here, as Just in Time Incorporated can be beat in only 60 to 90 minutes. That's not a lot of content, but what's here is polished and fun. While not a shooter like Superhot, this game does tap into that secret sauce that Superhot just nailed. It's that quality of experimentation and full usage of VR's strengths. While short like Superhot, it also shares the replay value of wanting to return to experiment more and more, and also of putting friends and family into this easy to pick up title. As you know, I hate number scores and prefer to rate games on a buy, wait for a sale, or burn it to the ground basis. At only $15 American, I actually think this is a buy and almost a must own, especially if the graphics don't bother you. It's short but priced right, and one of my favorite PSVR games of 2018. As promised, I'm giving away 2 free copies of Just in Time Incorporated to you fine folks because of my tardy review, and also because I think you need this game in your lives. This is what I want you to do. Leave a comment in the comment section below, and this Monday, April 30th, I will be doing a follow-up video announcing the winners of this game. And don't forget to stay tuned for upcoming videos this weekend and this upcoming week. I've got a lot of content coming and a lot of free games to give away. I am Chris from Shugghead Gaming, and guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.